Hi, everybody. Welcome to What Would Cynthia Do, my weekly career advice show through primarily LinkedIn, but now also newly through Instagram. So if anyone tuned in last week, you know that I did a big experiment last week, which was to try to stream this to both platforms at once. And I've now successfully done it 2 weeks in a row. Thank you very much. Hold on. Let me play some applause here because it is not a given that I could get this done properly with all the tech. Anyway, welcome. Let me know in the chat if you're here, since I cannot see you with my eyeballs. Would love to hear who is here. And as you all know, regulars to What Would Cynthia Do, drop your name and your pronouns in the chat, as well as what you do if you want to share that, and one ask and one offer. Hey, Sunita. Oh my God, so great to see you. So as you all can see from the pinned comment, if you do want to see like the full experience with I'll be sharing screen a little bit in a bit, then hop on over to whatwouldcynthiado.com and it'll redirect you to the LinkedIn Live. Okay, thanks. But you can still participate and try here. So let me know how you're doing. Okay, let's see who's here. Yes, Viana. Viana says air horn, and I do love to give you an air horn. Thanks for coming. Let us know if you have any asks or offers, Viana. I know that there's, so lots of things, exciting things happening these days. I will say, well, today's topic is how to smash your career goals through performance goals, which those of you on Instagram, you might have seen my post earlier this week on Monday about it. So we're going to go through that in more detail and workshop some goals, because it can be one thing to read something, another thing to actually put it in practice, right? Hey, Tamara, welcome. Feel free to, drop your intro in the chat tomorrow. Obviously you all know I'm Cynthia Pong, pronouns she, her, feminist career strategist for women of color. My ask and my offer are this. The ask is hashtag JusticeForDaunteWright. So I'm sure all of you know at this point, we started the week off with another needless, senseless murder of another Black man, young Black man, 20 years old in this country. And, I'm sure that all of you also are just sick and tired of this reality that we live in, where there's state-sponsored police violence against Black people and brown people and Indigenous people all the time. So anyway, my ask is, if you haven't already, go sign the petition, donate to the GoFundMe, contact the Attorney General, Keith Ellison, to ask his office to do an independent investigation and prosecution and all of that. But yes, defund the police, abolish the police. Anyway, that's my ask. And we can certainly talk more about it if you all want. I know it's a bit of a damper way to start the show, but this is also the world we live in. So yes, but hi, Tiara. I was just thinking about you. Actually, I'm gonna message you later, see how you're doing. Thanks, Fiona, for introing yourself. Project manager, civil engineer, urban planner in the commercial real estate field. Yes, hold on. Give me a round of applause for all of those hyphenates. Who else? Tamara, very frustrated with the situation. Yeah, I mean, I feel like words escape me at these times. I go through all the emotions, denial, numbness, shock, anger, rage, feeling hopeless, all of those things, every single time. And I just, it's a lot. So I resonate with that, Tamara, your frustration with the police murder of Daunte Wright. Let me see who's here on this side on Instagram. Hey, the letter G. Hey, EB. Oops, we got Sheba. Welcome. The constant assault on physical bodies and also spiritual bodies, thumbs down. I mean, 100%. Where's the thing? I don't know. I'll just post that. It is a constant assault, physically and spiritually. And I do think we don't often think about the mental toll and the psychological toll that it takes on all communities of color who, should feel understand that everything is interconnected and intersectional, but especially Black and brown folks whose communities. And individually, like your physical body is actually like oftentimes unsafe. So I know it's a lot, but I do want to like hold space for us to talk about that if we all want to. And those of you joining from LinkedIn, that comment was from Sheba, who's a fantastic new colleague of mine. So maybe you all can look up Sheba on LinkedIn. Let me just check the name that Sheba would be under, the full name. I think you are on there, right? Let me see. Maybe not. Okay, never mind. Sheba is on Instagram though, however, so you can find her over there. All right, carrying on. I wanted to also let you all know, minor tech problem here. Okay, I do have some offers for you all today, which are, okay, Sheba has corrected me. Sheba is on LinkedIn, but not active, and that is okay too. We understand, you know, we're all at different places sometimes. But if you just Google, I think Sheba Remy. Okay, Remy Khar, Khar is what you can look up if you want to be connected to Sheba. Also, I have two offers for you all today. One is if you want to be the very first to find out about this crowdfunding campaign that I've been telling you all about. I've been in this crowdfunding program with I Fund Women of Color and Caress. It's called Dreams to Reality. And they've been teaching us how to do a crowdfunding campaign from scratch, which has been a great learning experience. And I've also made a lot of friends through the program. There's a cohort of like 75 of us. Anyway, I'll be launching my crowdfunding campaign to fund the creation and launch of a leadership accelerator for women of color, which I'm so excited about. More details will be coming, but if you want to be the first to find out about all the crowdfunding rewards, the exciting rewards that I've been cooking up for all of you, for anyone who like contributes at various levels to the campaign, sign up at embracechange.nyc. If you go to the homepage and you just wait a couple of seconds, you scroll a little bit, after like 5 seconds or so, there'll be a pop-up that comes up and then you can drop your email in there and you'll be the first to find out about these rewards, which, why do you want to be the first? Because some of these rewards, there's only going to be like one of, or a handful. So time will be of the essence. So sign up for that. That's offer number one. Offer number two is after a year of not being able to accept new long-term coaching clients, I've been able to reopen consults for long-term coaching clients because I have a team now and we have increased capacity to help support people. So if you're interested, sign up for a free consult. I made a tiny URL. So tinyurl.com/embracechange-consult. That'll take you to the scheduling link. It's also in my link in bio on Instagram. Hey, Danny. And it is in my LinkedIn profile about section, but you got to scroll down and like wade through some things. So those are my offers. All right. We already sort of did this a little bit, but how are we doing? You know, it's been a lot, and you know, Tamara already shared a little bit, but let me know more, and you all too in the chat over here. Like, hi Santos in the city. Let me know how you're doing right now. If it's too hard to say too many things, 2 words in the chat is all I ask. I'm frankly feeling a little bit like anxious today. I don't know. I had like a very open schedule today. I thought it was gonna be like super easy, and I just find myself like, I don't know, feeling a little bit off and like anxious and nervous and like slight panicky. I don't know. It's probably in some relation to, you know, thinking about what happened to Dante Wright, and then also just, I don't know, life that's 1 year plus the pandemic now. Another update though is I got my first COVID vaccine shot on Monday. So I'm very excited about that. Very excited that I finally I got my shit together and I booked that appointment the night before. I went up to North Bronx Central Hospital. No, North Central Bronx Hospital. And it was great. Very smooth process. Yes. All right, back to here. Viana has an ask. I like to write about fitness, working moms and mothers, and real estate development topics. Cool. I'm looking for more opportunities to write. If you hear of any, let me know. So listen, for folks who are trying to get their voice out there, like writing is such a great way to develop your thought leadership. So I love, love, love this ask from Viana. Definitely everyone who's here, think about if you have leads or like even just potential places that Viana should look into as far as writing about fitness, working moms and mothers, and real estate development topics. So let Viana know, you know. And then also, I don't know, Viana, do you already write on like Medium or other places like that? I'd be very curious, and I can follow you and clap it up over there too. Also, the offer is connecting people. I love that. I know we got a lot of super connectors who come to What Would Cynthia Do? So Viana says if there's anyone in that she's connected to that you want to connect an intro to, she can facilitate that. That is amazing. And also can make herself available to discuss performance goals or the tell me about yourself statements from last week. Oh my God, I love it. It's basically like you're creating a study group around What Would Cynthia Do? And I think that is super incredible. I love it. I love it. I love it. For those of you who didn't catch last week's replay, which if you check on my website under the resources tab now, you can see all the replays. You can also find it on my YouTube. Last week, we did have a really good session. Like a lot of people told me afterwards how helpful that was about how to answer that question about what's called like, so tell me about yourself, or like, so what do you do? Especially if you are feeling a little bit weird about your job at the moment, like not loving it, or if you're in between jobs and stuff like that. Andrew Seaman is here. Hey, Andrew. I'm going to give you an air horn just for joining. Andrew has been so supportive of my work on LinkedIn over the past couple of years. And so really, in many ways, the existence of this show, What Would Cynthia Do, is in large part due to Andrew's advocacy and support and amplification of my work from the past years. So let's hear it for Andrew. And thanks for coming. It's great to see you. I hope you're doing good. Andrew says, once you build your clips, Viana, like Medium, as Cynthia mentioned, you can start reaching out to websites and magazines for paid gigs. So totally. And everyone, if you're not already following Andrew on LinkedIn, you should, because Andrew does like all the stuff around hashtag get hired, including these live streams, I think once a week, and like posting a lot of really helpful compilations, talking to career experts across the board, and like just asking really helpful questions so that we can all learn. So check out Andrew's work. Oh my God, we got so many great people here today. Prev, hi, feeling inspired. Yesterday I felt angry and depressed. That resonates and tracks with me, at least 100%. Thanks for the congrats on getting the first dose. I hope everyone who's trying to get a vaccine is able to. And yeah, Viana, totally, I would look into Medium. And let me know then, because I can clap you up over there. Hi, Charity, welcome. Thanks for your positivity for Viana. And yes, lots of stuff happening here. Yeah, I mean, you're very kind. It takes a village, I gotta say. And I think we're in the same boat, trying to provide resources and support and just like democratize knowledge a little more on LinkedIn. So thank you, Andrew. Okay. How's everybody doing over here on Instagram? Hey, I wear big glasses. Hey, Career Glow Up. Patricia Figueroa is Career Glow Up. Everyone should follow her account, which is amazing. Amazing career advice. Okay. So where are we right now? We did how are we doing? All right, let's get into it. The topic of the day, which is, hold on, I can't decide what I want to do, which is how to smash your big career goals using performance goals. So if you saw my post on Instagram on Monday, I wrote about what performance goals are and stuff, but we're going to go through it a bit because, as I was saying at the beginning of the show, like reading something and processing it real quick is one thing, but like actually taking the time to do it for yourself and practice. And Viana offered to like workshop more stuff outside of here too. But I want to give folks here today a chance to like, we can workshop your goals and make sure that we can figure out the right performance goals to set for you so that you reach and exceed your big, big goals. Okay, so I'm going to share screen for a bit, but as always, drop any questions or comments you have in the chat. Same goes for here. And if you want the full What Would Cynthia Do experience, you can go to whatwouldcynthiado.com. It'll redirect you. Okay, so how to smash your big goals using performance goals. Let me share the screen. Okay. So I wrote on Monday on IG about why performance goals are the best. And what do I even mean by performance goals, right? Let's level set and tell me in the chat if you have heard of this before or you are familiar, or if you're not. I want to sort of temperature check where people are at. Okay, so here's my definition of performance goals. They're basically benchmarks for you to measure your actions and your growth and your success. And crucially, performance goals are entirely within your control. So they don't depend on somebody else doing something. They don't depend on external factors like, the job market, the economy, white supremacy out there in the workplace, right? That stuff is not what performance goals are about. And a lot of times the reason it's important to focus on performance goals is because a lot of times we'll set goals that are like, I want to make a salary of $125,000. Or, for me and my business is like, I want to have a 10K month. So like a month in which in which I earn $10,000 revenue, right? Those are great goals. Okay. But, and they're even somewhat specific, not as specific as it could be. But the problem is it relies on like a whole slew of other factors and other people, right? So like, great, you could want a $125,000 job. But if you're like interviewing for these jobs, it's ultimately somebody else's decision. It's within someone else's power to decide whether to hire you, right? All you can control is like making the best case possible, like doing everything you can to prepare for the interview and like networking and like all that stuff, right? That's within your control. And that's a little bit of like a foreshadowing here. But the ultimate getting of that job and that salary being at that level, not in your control. So let me know if you understand what I'm saying. Let me check in the chat real quick and see if anyone is saying anything. Yay, people are Vienna and Charity are connecting. That's awesome. Prev shared a vaccine appointment resource. Thank you. Thank you. So just let me know, thumbs up or thumbs down. Have you ever heard of performance goals before? And are you following what I am saying here? And everybody good on the IG side as well? Looks like it. Okay, looks like we're pretty good here. So I'll check back in the chat in a second, but continue to pop anything in the chat. And I'll be back. Hey, Alluring Audacity. Okay, so we did a baseline level set of what performance goals are or are not. The key is it must entirely be within your control. So here are some examples, right, of performance goals. If you are trying to grow your network, for example, your performance goal could be reach out to 5 new professional contacts per week, right? You control whether that happens or not. And sure, you might be saying like, oh, but what if I get busy? Or like, what if this and that comes up? I mean, true. But that then becomes like a question of prioritizing and like making sure that you block the time to do that, that you set up the conditions for your own success and that you're really protective of this goal, assuming it's like very important to you, so that you maintain control over whether this gets done. But you notice it's not like the goal is not grow my network of people doing DEI work by 25%, right? You can't really control that so much. But you can be like, I'm going to reach out to 5 new people every week. Whether they get back to me or not is not my concern right now, right? You know that you reach out to 5 people, you might like hear back from 3. You might actually, become professional colleagues with like 2 maybe, or like 1, right? So that's how you're going to get to growing your network by 25%. But you can't control necessarily like that people will come back to you and connect and whatever. Like, so focus on what you can do and your output only. Another example, if job search is your thing right now, applying to like 2 jobs a week, right? That is within your control. I know it might be a little bit hard sometimes because you're like, oh, maybe you don't find so many opportunities that like are right in your ideal target area for jobs that you want to apply to. But, if you make the target, your performance goal, 2 jobs a week, like on average, maybe 1 week you do 1, but then the next week you make up by doing 3, like that's okay, right? For example, also business growth. If small business is your thing, pitching your consulting services to 3 new potential clients a week, that's also a performance goal. For me, myself, I block out like 2 hours every day during the week, even if I sometimes, not gonna lie, sometimes I eat into that time with other stuff. So it's not perfect, but that's why I blocked out such a large chunk, so that out of that, I can at least have enough time to do the business development work that I want to do, which consists of these type of performance goals, like pitching 25 people a week or reaching out to like however many people individually. Like that's the type of thing that I know I need to be doing in order to then get the returns in my business. Last example for you. And yes, thank you, Alluring Audacity 24. I know you totally get what I'm saying. And hi, Afro Negros, thanks for joining. Nia, hey, everybody on IG, follow nialewis.co, an amazing solopreneur hustle founder. I was on her podcast a while back now called Solopreneur Hustle, and Nia's just doing some fab stuff. So if you are into business or entrepreneurship, definitely follow Nia. Last example of performance goal is in thought leadership. So this is for you, Viana. Spend 30 minutes 3 times a week writing. And I would add for you, Viana, is like throw in like actually publishing. You might want to make your goal, in fact, like putting 1 piece out there a week or 1 piece every other week, whatever you think is like actually doable for you. And that I would say like, Medium, LinkedIn, Twitter, like any of those would count. Okay, so the examples of what's not a performance goal, right? We did the networking one, which is grow your network of DEI people by 25%. Job search is like get a new director level job in communications by June. You see how specific that goal is? Like it's actually a really good goal. It's a good SMART goal. It's specific, it's tied to a timeline, it's measurable, blah, 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 blah. But ultimately, who holds the decision-making power in making sure you get that director level job? Other people hiring for director level jobs and comms, right? So that's why this is not a performance goal. Business growth, earn 10K a month from speaking, for example. Thought leadership, build a professional brand with 20K followers across all platforms. Yes, this is great goal, but like that's not within your control. So before I check back in with the chat in a moment, the reason that I emphasize focusing on performance goals is because this is how you track your own progress, how you can stay encouraged even when the input coming back, like what you're getting back from all the output that you're putting out there is not necessarily what you want to see. You still just are going to focus on continue to chip away at your performance goals. Are you reaching that weekly goal? Are you reaching that bi-weekly goal? Are you reaching that monthly target? And then you get to celebrate yourself regardless of whether you get that director level job, whether you're got the 20K followers or whatever. And then I guarantee you it will actually move the needle on your bigger goal. All right, so that's what it is. Let me know what questions you have. And I want to also like workshop some of these, so that we can tweak this together, because it can be a little bit tricky. Thanks, Prep, for doing the temperature check of you hadn't heard of performance goals before. Sharon hadn't either. Hey, Sharon. Sharon had a great win that she shared last week, which was she got her first contract for a workshop, I believe. And so we're going to clap that up for Sharon. Sheba is actually over here on Instagram, which is very exciting. You all are in the same cohort of Jumpstart Your Online Business. Okay, so I hadn't heard of performance goals before, but glad to learn. I like things that are within my control. Isn't that something? I know so many people, so many of my clients, we want to make sure that shit is in our control, right? Because it makes us feel secure. It makes us know that we're like, doing what we can or whatever. Structure and control. Ooh, those are really big ones. And I hear that. That's why performance goals. Charity likes this idea and breaking it down to actions. Yes, anyone who knows me knows that I'm super action oriented. And LinkedIn users I'd write on the walls too, but it looks a little sketchy. Not exactly sure what that means. And Jim, thanks for breaking down the sometimes daunting task of setting performance goals. Great info. Thank you for joining, Jim, and thanks for that feedback. Super helpful. Let me see how we're doing. Ms. Alicia Monet is over here. Hi. Let me know if you have any questions too, IG folks. For the full experience, you can join at whatwouldsynthia.com. Okay, so let's hear somebody's big goal. Like, what's your big goal? Like your version of director level job in communications, or $10,000 revenue month, or a job that pays over 150K. What's your version of that? And I want us to talk about what your performance goals can be. Okay, let's see. We got anybody over here? Nope. Good. You all can participate too if you want. You can drop it in here and we'll workshop it together. Can I play you some thinking music? Why can't I log in? Tamora, do you want to? Oh, here, Daweed. Thank you. Welcome. Thank you. Yeah, I definitely don't live in the abstract. I think it's probably like my lawyer training or my lawyer brain, you know, that really just makes me like, I don't know, focused in the concrete. Also, maybe just my personality too, because I'm kind of like, if we're not taking action on things, like, really, what are we doing? Just kind of like torturing ourselves out here in the sort of unreal realm. I also will say that this is something I think about a lot, which is that like action is the antidote for fear. And a lot of my clients and other women of color that I come across, there's like a lot of fear that we have about various things. Like, what if I fail? What if I don't have enough money to support myself, my family, the multiple family units that I support? What if? And it's a lot of like fear and scarcity based stuff. And I feel like action is like totally the way to just immunize ourselves from that. Hi, Miss Alicia. Okay, so good. We got perfect timing. We've got one from Sharon. A big goal: become a go-to expert for DEI and metadata for museums, archives, and libraries. Oh my God, I love that. That's so great. That's so great. And maybe Sharon, for the uninitiated, maybe you can explain a little bit about what metadata and DEI and stuff means and all that, because I know, but I could always use a refresher too, and other folks I think will want to know. Okay, so let's think together and let's put it in the chat, ideas for Sharon, right? What are some performance goals that Sharon can consider if her big goal is to become a go-to expert for DEI, diversity, equity, and inclusion in metadata for museums, archives, and libraries? So the first thing I'll throw out while people are thinking is, okay, I'm torn between two things: networking and SEO, actually. So I'm going to do SEO first because I talk about networking a lot, but I've been thinking about SEO in particular because I just did some analysis of like how people find me, and the most clients find me because of the SEO, search engine optimization, that I have built up over the years. So they find me through a good old Google search. Hey, Derek. Hey, love Karen. Hi, good to see you. Hi, AB Career Match. I would say, because I know that you have a website, what's a performance goal that we can set for you around building up your SEO and building your web presence so that people who are looking for you can find you? And then that's how you get to be known as the go-to expert, right? Being on that first page of Google and being in those first 3 to 5 hits, we want to see Sharon Mazzotta, right? So I think I would actually recommend for you, like, funnily enough, the same as what Viana is doing, writing. So writing in a way that is targeted to keywords that you want to be searchable for, and then like putting that as a blog or different stuff on the various pages on your website. I would say a performance goal for that would be like spend 30 to 60 minutes every week working on writing and publishing and stuff on your website, and then tweaking, and also maybe like posting on like to another platform like LinkedIn or Medium, Twitter, etc. Okay, what other ideas do we have for Sharon? Come on, you all. I know you have good ideas. And put the thinking music back. And Sharon has explained, I'm trying to help diversify the historical and cultural records. Metadata is the way people find things in library categories, for example. So that's why I thought the SEO thing was kind of funny, because it's sort of like you're helping people find things with your metadata, but I'm also suggesting you use metadata and SEO for people to find you. So I will say that, and then, hey Derek, the other thing that I'll say that's a performance goal, and feel free you all, I can maybe do like workshop one more person thing. We are a little over time, but if somebody puts in something in the chat right now, we can workshop it too. The second performance goal I'd recommend for you, Sharon, is making the connections. So reaching out to like 5 people in DEI per week to build relationship with them and like introduce them to your work, I think will be really cool, because not a lot of people are, well, okay, I won't even say a lot, but a significant and growing number of people are in this pool of DEI practitioners and consultants. Not that many are doing what you are doing. So a lot of those DEI folks need to know you so that they can cross-refer, right? When they have a client who is a museum, archive, or library, they can be like, oh, you actually I need you to bring in Sharon on this part. So reaching out to 5 DEI contacts per week, that would be another performance goal for you. Anybody else over here? Nope, everybody's good on IG side. Oh, here we go. David has a suggestion. Speak to other experts and interview them, write about them. By association, you'll be thought of as an expert. Great. So this is a strategy, right, to get you closer to Sharon's goal of being the go-to expert in DEI for metadata. The performance goal of this would be like, identify and reach out to 2 experts a week or something like that. And then like another goal, it's not precisely a performance goal, is like, you know, have 1 interview every other week or something like that. But then you might have to amp up your performance goal of how many you reach out to in order to net that 2 experts a month, for example, to interview. So I love this idea though, Dowie. Thank you for contributing it. And Sharon, if you want to do that, like, we can get you leads. You know what I mean? Okay, so we're pretty much at time for the week. Anybody have any last comments? Throw them in the chat for me now. But I do want to tell you, hi, Jessica. I do want to tell you all, number 1, thank you for coming. Thank you, Daweed. Thank you, Sharon. Thank you, Prev. Thank you, Jim. Welcome to the show. Thank you, Charity. Also welcome to the show. Viana, Andrew Seaman. Who else do we have here? I don't think Natasha was here, but always in spirit, I feel. Tamora, thank you for coming. It's been, as always, like so great to share a part of my midweek with you all. And then everybody over on the IG side, thanks Derek, Love Karen, AB Career Match, Ms. Alicia Monet, Afro Negros, Alluring, Nia Lewis, Mick Bokelman, I Wear Big Glasses, Career Glove, Sanchez in the City, Danny, Sheba, Chris, the letter G, Sunita. Thank you all for coming. So appreciate you, Sheba. And next week, we will not be having What Would Cynthia Do, because at this time I will be on Lisa Orbay Austin's LinkedIn Live to do me, her, and Ashley Watkins' joint monthly LinkedIn Live show, which is called The Conversation. We'll be talking about job search next week. Job search, especially people looking to move up into executive leadership, senior management roles. Breaking into leadership, moving up in leadership, that type of thing. That's what we'll be focused on next week, Wednesday, April 21st at 1:45 p.m. Eastern time. I know it's weird time, 1:45 p.m. Eastern. Next Wednesday, the 21st, we do that it's a 90-minute show, and it'll be on Lisa Orbay Austin's LinkedIn Live. That means follow Lisa Orbay Austin on LinkedIn. You will get the notification. You can click and join. I will also try to connect it to What Would Cynthia Do. So you all can try at 1:45 next week to connect through there and just refresh the page. Hopefully it will work too. All right, fingers crossed for the tech. Thank you all for coming. Keep connecting. I'll see you next time. In 2 weeks, I'll be back here at 2 p.m. for What Would Cynthia Do. So thank you all so much. Yes, thank you, Sharon. Oh, thanks, Charity. I'm glad you like the background action sounds. You know, I just like to make it a little fun, spice it up a little bit. Thank you, Charity. And yeah, thanks, Prev. You're the best. You know, let me know an update if you want to. We'd love to hear from you. We'd love to hear from everybody. And yes, Bianna is going to set aside time to work on performance goals. So if anybody here, especially I think you connected with charity, right? Maybe you all can do a little accountability-ing. That's not a word. But yeah, you can make sure you set some performance goals by like the end of the week or something. I don't know. Tomorrow, don't worry. We got you on the replay. Just check back in a little bit. whatwouldsynthia.com. It'll be there for you. And yeah, okay, all right, y'all. One more time with the air horn. There you go. I'll see you all next week on Lisa or Bay Austin's LinkedIn Live for the conversation. Thank you all. Bye.